All right there guys, it's time to talk about the giveaway truck. We've been so busy with UCC, we haven't had a lot of time to really put the spotlight on this guy. And we did a recent video, and it's a fun little video. We're out there hot running around. And one thing that's been kind of bothering me about the giveaway truck is the smoke level. It's been really dirty. Now when we built this thing with the goals of 1,000 horsepower, and we knew we needed a pretty aggressive fueling setup to accomplish that. But just driving it around, it made the power, and it's really fun to drive, but it's a little smokier than I'd like, especially for a street truck. So we actually have detuned it a little bit from those 1,000 horsepower runs. We dropped timing to make it a little easier to start, make it a little little split friendly, make it a little more fun to drive around on the street. Sometimes 1,000 horsepower is great, but sometimes dropping timing, getting the turbo response a little better, it's actually more fun on the street. So we have this thing tuned down a little bit. And we wanted to try some different injectors. In the past, we found out if you are really fogging an engine, really hitting the fuel hard, sometimes you actually pick up power going with a smaller injector. Perhaps the pump isn't big enough to properly atomize the fuel with a big injector hole. Perhaps there's just too much fuel for the given turbo system. I don't know the exact answer. I kind of lean towards atomization. But we wanted to put in an actual smaller injector to see if we would actually, for one, cut out a bunch of smoke, and see if we keep the same power, maybe even pick up power. So we wanted to do a bunch of dyno runs same day. So I mean, I've been swapping injectors or helping anyway. I'm kind of dirty. I just got done dynoing the truck. And so we started out the day with the injectors that have been there the whole time, really smoky. And those things, I think we did an 830 horsepower in the detuned mode. And they ran great. We made about 85 pounds of boost. EGT was about 1550. And so it ran great, just really smoky. So then Will had the injectors we wanted to try, and we put those in. And once we got them all installed and put in, Will found the injectors he actually wanted to put in, realizing he gave us the wrong set of injectors to put in. And we went actually even bigger, much bigger. And so I'm like, well, they're in now. We're going to run it and see what happens. So we're going to just put these injectors in and see what happens. And so, my table's moving here. So we get on the dyno, and it's smoky. It's getting up the boost, really smoky, which you wouldn't expect with these massive injectors. And in the end, we actually made it a little bit more boost. I think it was about 90 pounds of boost on that run. Again, EGT is about 1550. And we picked up horsepower. We get 870 horsepower on that run, I believe. 870, I think that's what it was. We'll pull up the screenshot here, you can see it. But 870 horsepower, picked up about 100 foot-pounds of torque. The first injector is about 1,750 foot-pounds, give or take. The screenshot will tell you. And I know this set got over 1,800 foot-pounds. So now we're like, well, great, we picked up power, but it sure didn't make it any less smoky. We added smoke, added some boost, but didn't pick up any power, didn't clean up the street manners. And so we wanted to try the injectors that we actually, designed for this to make them smaller, to clean up the smoke. So out come these new injectors, and we put in the smaller injectors. There's some new technology we're trying out in these injectors. It's actually pretty fun to, this is an old dinosaur, and they say dinosaurs are dead, but we're actually trying some new stuff we've never tried before in these injectors, and we're really excited to see how it worked out. So we get them installed, get them loaded up, and the first pull right off the bat, you can tell the idle haze is way less, which is great. Idle haze down, really nice. Excited about that. And we did our first run, and boost dropped. It was down to about 81 pounds of boost. I was like, oh, well, we're going to lose power. You drop boost. In general, you lose boost, you lose power. So I just saw that we lost boost, and the dyno screen pops up, do you want to see the results? And so we see the results, and right off the bat, 907 horsepower. I'm like, whoa, 907? I couldn't believe it, and then I looked at the video of the smoke, and it was way cleaner on full power. I mean, it's still, smoke, and it's a 12-valve, high power 12-valve, but way less smoke at the tailpipe. It's like, dude, this is cool. Idle haze way down, street friendliness way up, power's up. what it was, I think a 12 mil pump just doesn't have enough to push fuel efficiently through the size of injector we had, and going smaller really picked up the power. And so 907 horsepower, and I'm like, all right, we're playing around with the turbo tuner. We're gonna do a few things quickly. I don't wanna adjust timing because I don't wanna affect that, but I'm gonna play with the turbo tuner. And in the end, I loosened it so the gate would open earlier, and all I did was hurt spool up. Peak power, drive pressure, we were monitoring drive pressure, interstage boost. Drive pressure is always right about 100 PSI at about 3,200, 3,300 RPM where I let off. Boost about 80, so the drive pressure ratios are actually pretty good for this responsive turbo setup. My big setups, they're 1-to-1 or better than 1-to-1, but that's not something you can really drive on the street. But on the street truck, man, 80 PSI boost, 100 pounds of drive, to me that's not bad. And so we were playing the turbo tuner to see if we could fix it, and in the end, all we would do is we could see where the turbo tuner would open. It would be a dip in the drive pressure. But it never made more power than it did with the gate pretty aggressively shut. It would always open, but always did better. If we held it closed longer, the spool up was better, the torque number was better, and it always made the same peak power basically and the same drive pressure. Our best run of the night was 910 horsepower. And this is in the street setup. This is not, again, this is the timing's drop down. If we drop the timing up, I'm sure we could crack 1,000 with these smaller injectors, which is pretty exciting because like I said, with this new setup, it's way less smoky. So anyway, the giveaway truck is getting even better. We've killed the smoke, way more street friendly. We're gonna do some AFC tuning, see if we can even make it a little bit better. And but it's gonna be a really, really fun truck. On the street, it's gnarly, super fun. And with that new interior, it's just a pleasure to drive. So anyway, guys, got 3 different dyno runs today, 3 different injectors, big, really big, and medium. And the medium dominated. So bigger is not always better. Believe what your wife tells you. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. All right, guys, one more thing I failed to mention is the interior of this truck. This truck, when you look at it, does not look like anything special. It looks like a 2nd-gen truck. We put all the money in where it counts, in my opinion, which is function. The interior of this truck was not awesome, so we redid the entire thing. Headliner to floor mats. It's got all new carpet for the whole entire truck. We took the plastic out, had those redone. They look really sharp. The headliner, all brand new, suede. The visors are new. We even did like the armrest, the panels in the door for your armrest. All that stuff's brand new. And we actually went overboard this time a little bit. We went genuine leather anywhere you sit. So all the gray you see in here, that's genuine leather, not pleather, not vinyl. It's real leather, and you can actually smell it. And I actually had the guy do a diamond stitch. I saw that at a car show one time, and I thought it was really cool. So we did a diamond stitching in this to really make it pop. And they're very comfortable seats, and of course the power-driven logos in the headrest. So it looks really sharp. And honestly, the guy did a great job. I'm super happy that the seats turned out. And man, they looks really good. So driving this truck is a pleasure. Again, driving down the road, this is not a SEMA-like beautiful truck. This is a hot rod. And so this is a truck you can pull up next to some guy in a Corvette, and he thinks you're a stupid kid in a 12-valve, old ratted out truck, and you can just wax him. Everything in this thing is solid. New brakes, hubs, steering's great, new power steering pump. Everything that's needed to make this thing functional is awesome, and the interior is sweet, super fun to drive. So anyway, guys, make sure to get your tickets on this truck. Every buck is an entry into win this truck. It ends June 7th. That's just a couple days from now. Go buy a shirt, go get something. Make sure your name is in the hat for this truck. And hopefully this beast ends up in your driveway. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.